don't brake hard enough, you don't brake at all, really. Hello and welcome back to the channel, and yes, in today's video we're going to do a walk around and kind of in-depth tour of my 1986 Ford Capri. And then once I've kind of showed you around the car and kind of told you a bit about the car, we'll take it for a POV drive, just to give you guys a bit of perspective as what it's like to actually drive one of these, because as is the way with classic cars, they look good but they're not good to drive. So I'll give you a bit of an insight as to what these actually like to drive, so make sure for an interesting video really. So let's crack on. Right guys, so yes, this is my 1986 Ford Capri. It's fitted obviously with a 2-litre Pinto engine, a Mark 1, Mark 2 Escort. It goes quite well for what it is. I mean, performance wise, it's obviously not very fast because it's an old car, but I'm not going to lie, it's actually quite nippy for what it is. But honestly, I've always wanted one of these cars ever since I was a kid, because yet again, my dad used to have one, and I absolutely love this one. It's actually very clean for its age. The car was originally burgundy, but it's had a full respray about 5 years ago, and it's actually in quite good condition. I mean, there's no rust on the bodywork, a few blemishes, but honestly, this car's like, what, like 36, 37 years old. So yet again, it's not going to be a show car, even though it is incredibly presentable. I mean, you've got like kind of little bits of bit there and a tiny bit there. I mean, the wings are all good. Now, obviously this car is not completely original, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because the car is still incredibly retro, but it's not like overly modified or anything like that. I mean, I think it's lowered slightly all round. I think it's lowered a tiny bit at the front with like 2-inch lowering blocks in the back. The interior has been changed a little bit as well. It's actually I believe the 2.8 injection interior, like with the Recaro seats, door cards, the full works. The only thing I've done to the interior is I fitted this kind of mounty steering wheel, which is very period correct. And actually I love the steering wheel. It's very kind of suited to the kind of the character of the car. But the interior again is in good condition as well, nothing really to complain about. The only thing I've bought really is brand new mats, which obviously are tailored to fit the car, even though they're a little bit grubby and I've kind of moved them with my feet, but they are tailored for the car. The mileage I'm a bit not sure on. It says 49,611, but that could be 149,000 if you know what I mean. The thing is, if you look back at all the kind of MOT history, which you're welcome to if you like, all the MOT history and the mileage is very consistent. There's no like no weird things in the history. It's all consistent. There's no like kind of changes or anything like that at all throughout the history, so that's a plus. But yeah, I actually generally love the interiors of these. I love the seats, they're quite comfortable. Just generally I love the dashboard, very retro, very kind of muscle car vibes in my opinion. I just love everything about it. You've got like oil pressure, your battery voltage, or your temperature, but everything's very basic, very cool, very retro. It has a Type 9, I believe, 5-speed gearbox, which does the job. Now, something I don't like about this car, which I'd like to change in the future, is things like this, all this kind of stuff that was fitted previously, this modern things. I would like that put back to standard, just to keep it kind of like OEM. It's got a kind of wee kind of CD player in it as well, which I don't like. I would like that put back to standard as well. Now, coming around to the back, nothing much to report here, just your typical Capri kind of theme. It's got a full brand new Sportex exhaust system, which sounds really, really crisp and really nice, and can obviously not too in your face, but yeah, gorgeous car. Now, eagle-eyed viewers may notice that it's not really got proper plates on it now. Well, they are proper plates, but these plates are, how should I put it? Well, I was told they're like, what, too old for the car, but I mean, who cares? I mean, they look fantastic and they kind of suit the kind of theme of the car, so they're on there, so I just left them on there, so it is what it is. Yeah, again, kind of coming down the side, all good condition. All the arches are completely original, not full of filler. A little bit picky at the bottom, but actually all solid. There's no actual rot down there. It's all quite good. It does need a little bit of welding in some places, which I'll show you shortly. As you come down the side, this is one thing I like to touch on in the future, is it's a little bit of kind of blemishing here, but press really hard on that, it's absolutely solid. So, but that does need attention. I'd like to get that done professionally so it actually lasts, because this can get worse and cause major problems. So I'd like that bit of rust there sorted. Plus there's a little bit just down in there as well. But apart from that, this whole car's in good condition. Especially the wings, because obviously Ford Capris are really bad for wing rot, but this is actually all good. Now, obviously the one thing that makes these cars so iconic and so cool in the UK is just the whole kind of styling, the long sweeping bonnet and the fastback. and very reminiscent of the Ford Mustang, which this car was kind of inspired by, I think. So yeah, all in all, a very good looking car. Now let's go under the bonnet, because although under the bonnet is not in best condition, I have big plans for under the bonnet. So I'm going to pop the bonnet and show you what it's like and just tell you some plans I have. Right, before I even show you under the bonnet, it's going to get full respray. I'm just saying that right now because at the moment it's not pretty, so be warned. But anyway, let me show you what's under the bonnet. So under the bonnet, as I said, it's not too pretty. Only it really lets it down is the fact that all the side here has been painted black. But this thing is going to Loch Ness Restorations or somewhere like that to get the full engine bay resprayed to the same colour as the car. Because that'll really kind of, that'll be the cherry on the cake, in my opinion, because that's really the only thing that lets this car down is the engine bay. The actual engine itself is actually okay. I would like to kind of like tidy up the manifold. I want to remove it and heat wrap it just to kind of tidy that up. I want to get a better carburetor for it as well. That's a standard one, which goes okay, but I would like maybe a better one. I'm going to get a brand new battery tray to get this one removed and a brand new one re-welded in, because there's a little bit of rot down there as well. So yeah, again, that's something like done as well, because as it's an old car, I just like the whole engine bay looking perfect. And something else that's been bugging me since I got the car is the brake servo is quite crusty. Yeah, again, I would like to remove that as well in the better weather and get that resprayed. But apart from that, I mean, the engine's okay, it goes well, runs good. I think also the carbs are even kind of set up properly as well, because on cold start it doesn't run very well, so I think the carbs need maybe balanced or something like that, which someone pointed out to me. It has a brand new uprated starter motor, which you've seen in a previous video. Also, while the engine bay is getting resprayed, I'm going to get this bit of welding here completely cut out and welded up properly, because whoever did that made a pig-arse job, if I'm honest. I'm a perfectionist and things like that just let the car down, so I'll get that done properly while the engine bay is getting done. So yeah, that does it for the engine bay. But yeah, really, there's not much else to kind of touch on, really. I mean, that's basically all there's to talk about from the exterior of the car and the interior. As I said, there's not much to talk about, apart from just admiring it, really. So, with that being said, let's get on the GoPro on my head and let's go for a POV drive to give you guys an insight as to what this car is like to drive. Right, so where I am, there's like some nice quiet kind of back road, so and I can't get it, for God's sake. Right, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be doing, I'm not going to be like driving to death out of it, because at the end of the day, you know, I don't want it to break down, but goes quite well, like, to be honest. I mean, it really does. The brakes aren't very good. I tell you what, right, this thing gets up to 60 miles an hour pretty quickly, like. I mean, what's a 2-litre Mark 1 Escort engine? I don't know how much power it's got, like, but I mean, this whole car probably weighs less than a ton, so, yeah. Now, obviously, if anyone doesn't know, this car has no power steering, no driver aids, no ABS, the brakes on it aren't very good. If you brake too hard, you lock up. Don't brake hard enough, you don't brake at all, really. I'd say it does kind of splutter a little bit, but I think the carburetors need to set up a little bit better than they are. This is another thing about this car. Like, changing gears in this car is a bit of a hit or a miss, really. With it being an old car, changing gear, you know, it's not very accurate. Like, it's not like precise like a brand new car is. Obviously to be expected, but I'm not gonna lie, I am thinking about getting a quick shift put in this car, like a rose joint one, just so it's a little bit better to drive. I mean, obviously I understand that you can't expect much more from an old car, but as I said, I'd like to do as much as I can, just get this car driving as good as it can be, really. But there's no harm in that at all. Now, I've just realised, right, also some of you have been noticing, right, the steering wheel isn't quite straight. I'm not sure if that's the alignment or this steering wheel needs kind of adjusted maybe more. Maybe I need to remove it and put it that way a bit, I'm not too sure. But yeah, some people may be picking on various things like this, but you know, it is what it is. The thing is, right, Ford Capris, they've never really been renowned for good handling cars. I mean, I've seen videos of these at not kill on the limit, and all they do is just go around corners sideways and then they're pointing back the way they came. So yeah, again, these cars are more for looks and kind of cruising about in rather than actual handling. I mean, I've never heard of these things handling well. I think it's just, I don't know, the way they are. A long car with like no weight over the back. I mean, that's just the way it is really, do you know what I mean? The steering does feel good. Because there's no power steering, you can feel absolutely everything, and it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, wheel spin. Now this is like a raw driving experience. You got no driver aids, none of this fancy girly little squirrel girl stuff like you get in modern cars with flappy paddle gearboxes and all this dual clutch transmission shite. You've got the basic stuff, a manual gearbox. It's a hairy chested man's car. Now, I can't remember if I actually mentioned this or not, but this car actually featured in Retro Ford magazine. I'll put a picture up now. Let you see that. You can always pause the video and read through the story yourself, but very good story. I recommend you read it on the screen, because this car has quite a certain story behind it. But as I said, I'll let you pause the video if you want and read that on the screen. Worth a watch, guys. Come on. Now, the front tires of this car are just absolutely terrible. I mean, coupled with the fact they're just like, I don't know what they are, to be honest, but they're not very good. And quite a thick sidewall as well, so you get a bit of roll in the tyre as well. The front tyres aren't very good, the rear ones are perfect, but the front ones are just absolutely dreadful. This car has used so much fuel, fuck it! Also, another thing I just love about old cars, right, is just the kind of visibility. I mean, in new cars, your pillars here are so chunky for safety and various other reasons, you just don't see much, whereas this, you got so much visibility in the road. It feels like the road is just next to my shoulder, and it's like, I mean, I would say this car is low, but it's an old car, so it sits quite low anyway. It's just, even though this car's quite long, it's still got a small car, so it's like, everything feels so here and things like that. It's just such a cool experience and such a cool feeling. So the one thing you can't beat with old cars is just that it feels like you're attached to the road, and it's just fantastic. And here we have a fucking cyclist. Oh, I'll tell you what, right, these cunts need to start paying road tax, because otherwise they need to get off the fucking road, eh? Oh my god. Now, I mean, this whole kind of turn, like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, the steering in this car isn't actually that heavy. Now, bear in mind, this steering was actually quite small compared to the standard one, but I mean, like turning it's actually not that bad. Like, honestly, it's actually not that bad to steer. I'll stop juddering. They're just awful. Do need to be careful because there isn't much front end grip, if I'm honest, so like I need to be careful in the corners of this thing. Whoa! This car doesn't actually have any body roll, so there's like no body roll in the corners. It's the fucking front tires. The side wall of the tyres, they roll in the corners more than anything else. It's just, oh, it's a nightmare. Hey! said, this car appears to be kind of spluttering a little bit on acceleration yet again. Carb needs set up, so yeah, probably a future video. Another thing with old cars is while you're driving you get so much noise from the road, because bear in mind, this car has no refinements, no soundproofing, none of that rubbish. So you hear everything, you feel everything, and it's just a raw experience. Because obviously it's an old car, you're going to get a lot of rattles and things like that, but it's to be expected. But it's what gives an old car character. And another thing, the clutch in this car, it's just really weird. I mean, the biting point in this car is very high. Now, bearing in mind, I've never driven a Capri before, so I'm not sure if that's normal or not, but I'm assuming it is. Right guys, so that concludes this video and our journey ends here at the Culloden Viaduct. I'm not sure if you can hear me because it's very windy, but yeah, that was a good drive. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.